Hi guys, welcome back for another video, or welcome if you're new. Today I have a little guest joining me. I don't know if you can see her right there. This is my grandparents' dog and she's a little puppy. And we're keeping her for a couple days because my grandpa had surgery and she's so cute. Her name's Pearl. She's 4 months old, English cream golden retriever. So I'm going to be filming this video with her, keeping me company. But today I'm going to be going over my review of NATACHA OCEAN'S MOVE program so far. Go ahead and subscribe because I will be doing a full 12-week review at the end. So definitely subscribe so you can stick around and see like my full review whenever I'm finished. So if you saw my first video, I did a 2-week review and then I said that I was going to update every 2 weeks, but I ended up getting sick after that video, like literally the day that I filmed it, and then I was sick for, it's been almost a month now, and because now it's been 6 weeks, the program is 12 weeks total. Pearl's in my lap right now if you hear any dog noises. With that being said, that's why I didn't end up filming the 4-week review, and also I just felt like it would be more beneficial for those of you who are interested in like hearing my reviews if I just did halfway and then one when I'm completely finished. So anyway, today I'm going to be going over what I've thought of the program so far. Even though I was sick, I still completed the weeks fully. I'm just going to go over my pros and cons that I have. Pearl is being she's being so cute right now. She wants to play. Literally my dream dog is a golden retriever, so I'm just living best life right now. But I have a little note typed out on my phone, so I'm just gonna kind of be referencing that. But if you don't already know, I'm just gonna go over like a brief overview of what the MOVE program is. So this is NATACHA OCEAN'S MOVE 2022 program, and it has a lot of focus on functionality, functional training, building skills rather than just focusing on building muscle. And it's super great and so fun, and I just love how dynamic the moves are, and it's just really new stuff. And she says this is the way that she's been training for years, and it's basically just like supposed to translate into your normal life, just like normal things you do or sports, just make you more athletic and everything. So that's been great, and I'll show you what the app looks like. And this is the athlete app. Here's what it looks like, and I click what does that say? I can't tell. But then if I scroll down, you can see the weeks, and then if I click on week 1, you can see the split. So we have dynamic lower body, upper body, core plus hip, which is an optional day. You could take this as a rest day if you need. Rest day, lower body, strength, full body plus skills, and then another rest day. And I mentioned this in the first review video that I did, but I appreciate that there's 2 rest days and the optional day as well, just because I know some people's schedules are kind of crazy. So I'm going to go into the pros first and then the cons and then kind of like my results so far. I do have actually a lot of pros because I've really been loving this, and if you haven't watched my other video, I did one of why I quit her cut program, so a lot of this is going to be kind of like comparing MOVE to the cut program as well. So my first pro is that there are just so many new moves. There are some every single day, and I feel like she's always cranking out new different moves that like I've never done before, never seen anyone do before on social media, and I just really like that. Like I think it makes it more fun and exciting. It makes me more excited to like do the workouts too when I haven't done the moves before, because I can really get bored with doing the same moves over and over all the time. And so I really like that. And even with my being halfway done, there's still like new moves every single day. Sometimes like almost all the moves per day are new, so I really like that. There's usually about like 7 to 8 moves per workout, just for reference. My second pro is that the workouts are just so fun, and so that kind of goes with like having all of the new moves, but I don't know, I just really have fun with the workouts and they're not boring. I can get really bored with just like hypertrophy training. I love the plyometric training, love the functional training. That's why I love Natasha's workouts so much. And so I just really enjoy it, and I get excited to go to the gym most days. Or if I'm not excited, once I get there, I get excited after looking at the workout. The next pro is that the workouts are pretty true to the estimated time. You can see in this part of the app, it has like the estimated times underneath, and almost all of those have been true. There maybe been like a couple where it took me a little bit longer than it says. I don't time my rest usually or anything. I just kind of like rest however much it feels good and then do the next move. And even with that, like usually it's almost exactly on point, which is really great because then you kind of know like how much time you're going to be in the gym and how much time it's going to take you. The next pro that's more so in comparison to the cut program, which was her first cut program, is that the app is not nearly as glitchy as it used to be. And I don't know if that was just because maybe like the program's outdated now, that the app has had some updates, but the app in general just isn't the best. But I am just so grateful that it's not nearly as glitchy. The next pro, and I'm going to read a little bit of this off of my phone, is I just love the skill building aspect of this. So an example of one of these is there's a lot of AMRAPs. I don't know if that's what you call them, but that's what I call them, like as many reps as possible. So you do that with pull-ups and push-ups. Another example of skill building is the Bosu ball single leg balance. So just like standing on a Bosu ball for 30 seconds, like balancing, and just there's a lot of improving your balance, which I think is cool because I definitely find it challenging, which tells me that I need to improve my balance more. Another one's stability ball balance. So there's a lot of balancing on the stability ball, like on your stomach or on your knees, and she makes it look so much easier than it actually is in real life. Like it's so hard to get balanced, but I just think those are cool. None of those are things that I would ever do in the gym just by myself, like if I was making my own workout plan. And so I think those are super fun. Another thing that just felt like a really big accomplishment for me is I've never been able to do a pistol squat like on either of my legs, and I finally got it like 2 days ago, and there's a lot of different variations of doing pistol squats in this program, and I finally got my right one. And she says in the little description there's like a notes section where she can kind of put like an explanation of the exercise you're doing, and she says like pistol squats are difficult to get, but once you get them they stay. And so I got home and I was like so excited. I showed my husband. I was like, look what I can do. And it was just so cool. And it just felt like, wow, like my body did that. And where did she go? And it just felt like a good accomplishment. So I was proud of myself for that. The next pro is that I already said this, I just appreciate the 2 rest days. Usually the first rest day, which is usually on Thursdays for me, I'll do like an active recovery because I am doing a calorie deficit. So I do want to stay in my deficit like 6 out of 7 days of the week. And so I will just like go on a long walk or something, like super low intensity, to still like let my muscles get warmed up and use them and use my body, but not have to like do anything intense so they can kind of rest. And then on Sundays is the second rest day, and usually I just take that as an actual rest day. For the first couple of weeks I was still like going on walks on Sundays too because I was trying to stay in my calorie deficit. But what I think I realized, especially after like having been sick for 4 weeks, is that my body just really needed that day of rest, and pushing out my calorie deficit in the long run wasn't going to make that big of a difference. She is being so cute back there. The next pro is that along with like being in a calorie deficit, my goal on my Apple Watch for the amount of calories I burn is 700 per day, and that is in order to keep me in a 500 calorie deficit. I've been eating around like 1800 to 1900 per day, sometimes like a little bit over that, and burning around like 24 to 2500. So making sure I get the calorie goal on my watch just helps me to stay in that deficit. So with that being said, the pro is that these workouts usually help me to reach that goal of 700. The next pro is that the HIIT workouts are really great. I don't know if you guys have ever tried any of her HIIT workouts, but they are freaking hard. They are so hard, especially the ones in the cut program. And I also felt like they were just kind of silly sometimes, because it would be like rowing sprints and then something you need a bench for and then something else that was like way across the gym, and it just didn't make any sense. But these are great, and they're really hard and challenging. They're not too hard though. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to literally die halfway through, and I always feel really good after, but I think they're not like impossible, and they make me sweat so much. I'm gonna transition now into talking about the cons, and I only have a few cons. So the first one is that there are a few weird moves, which this was like my main con when it came to the cut program. And honestly, like, if you're doing NATACHA OCEANE'S workouts and you like her stuff, then you probably have tried out some of the weirder moves in the gym, and you're probably not super scared of doing ones that are weird. I feel like that's the whole draw of her workouts to me, is just that they're different and they're not like normal workouts that you see people doing, but they still are really good and effective. So there are some moves in this program that I think are weird, but I will say that there's only been 2 from weeks 3 to 6 that I did end up substituting, because I just felt like this is too weird, this is too much. I will say there are some moves that I just do anyway. I just am like, whatever, nobody cares. But other people might think that they're a little bit weird. But one example of one, and this one honestly is just funny. Like, when I saw that, I was just like, what's the point? Like, were you just trying to make it a little bit different than usual? Because I don't know, but it is squat jumps with heel clap. I'll put it right here. And I just think it looks so funny. Like, I literally laughed out loud when I played the video, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna do regular squat jumps for this. I know that with doing everything else, like, no one would think anything of it, but that's just one move where I draw the line. Another one is these reverse deadlifts. I'll put this here too. This is just something like, for one, it looks super hard. 2, I'm not going to try that. I don't know. I just feel like this is just not something I'm ever gonna try. It's not a skill that I wanna have. But with all that being said, there's definitely like way fewer weird moves in this. By weird, I mean like moves that I'm not gonna do in the gym. There's way fewer in this than there are in cut, so I definitely appreciate that. The next con, and this may be more specific just to me, but there's so many moves that are TRX moves, and in my gym there is like a place for TRX, but there's like no way to hook it on, and so I just usually have to substitute stuff, and I've found that it's just like hard to substitute. Like, sometimes instead of doing the TRX thing, I will just go to a different week of that same day workout and choose a different move to do. It's just gonna be hard if you don't have like TRX stuff. My next con is that there are a lot of hanging moves. I'll put an example of one here. I think these are hanging tucks, but like that, or like oblique tucks, or like holding your legs straight out in front of you in a pike position. Again, this may be specific to just me, but I don't have great grip, and I don't have anything, like my gym doesn't have anything to like help me with that. And you can see in this video of the hanging tucks where she has like some white stuff on the bar to help her grip, and I just like don't have any of that, so I have to use a machine that I don't know what it's called, but it's like where you put your elbows on it, and then you, like, your elbows are holding you up, and then there's like a back to it, so you're just kind of like holding yourself up, and then you can move your legs as needed. And I feel like it doesn't give the same exercise effect, but it's okay because it still works. I still feel it. Pearl is eating her bone or something, so if you hear that noise, that's what that is. But I feel like there's so many hanging moves, and also, you know, maybe it's just like more so challenging me to increase my grip strength and be able to hold on for longer. Until I do that, I'm not gonna be able to do like any of those moves fully. Again, that might be specific to just me, but that was just something I thought of. My last con is that I don't sweat very much in some of the workouts. Probably the average number of calories I burn in a workout, like one of the 60-minute ones, is probably around like 400 to 450 or so. Some days though, probably like 40% of days, I only burn like 300 to 350, and that's not enough to get me up to the 700. But what I've started doing is I just started, like, as a warm-up, I used to walk 5 minutes, and then I would just go ahead and go into the workouts, do like a tiny bit of a stretch before the walking. But now I've started running a mile because also I just hate running and I want to get better at it, and the reason I hate it is just because it's hard for me. So I've just been doing like a light run, like 5.5 miles an hour, and running a mile before, so usually around like 10 to 11 minutes. That's usually like 110, 120 calories, and then I go into my workout. It's like crazy how big of a difference it is when I run first versus if I don't run and do the workout. I feel like because my body's already super warm and my heart rate is already high, like it stays higher during my workout, and so therefore burns more calories. So anyway, I've started doing that. I started that like 2 weeks ago. That has been great and helped me to reach my calorie goal every single day. So now I'm going to talk about my results so far. I don't have like pictures yet because I just like haven't taken any progress pictures. I honestly like was feeling kind of discouraged a couple weeks ago because, like I said, I've been doing a calorie deficit, but I felt like I hadn't been seeing any real results. Like I wasn't really losing weight and I was just getting frustrated, and so I just started thinking like maybe I just am being too slack. Like I don't want to be super restrictive, but I do just want to like make sure, you know, I'm eating a certain amount per day. So I just started kind of like being a little more aware like of exactly what I'm eating, like weighing things out, just so I'm not eating too much, because I saw this TikTok and it was like, if you think you're eating in a calorie deficit but you're not losing any weight, then you're probably eating more than you think you are. And honestly, I feel like that's true. I feel like I've been definitely like eating less than I was before when I thought I was eating the same number of calories. I only started kind of like being more serious about it this past week, like a week ago or a week and a half ago or so. And I also started my period a couple of days ago. I don't know if you guys are like this, but before I start, I get so hungry. So that was so hard. I felt like I was way too hungry and I was like, how is this sustainable, you know? But now I feel like I'm just not experiencing that anymore, so that's been good. But anyway, so with all that being said, I haven't like weighed myself recently, but I'm definitely planning on at the end of the MOVE program taking progress pictures and seeing like, do I see any big difference? Also like going and looking back at like the previous weights that I did and then the weights that I can do at the end of the program, and then also like all of the skill type things, just like comparing how I felt back then and like thinking back to like how hard this certain thing was versus now. So with all that being said, I have really loved it so far. I would highly recommend this program if you like functional training, if you like dynamic workouts, just things that work your whole body, because I just think they're so fun and translate, like I said, into skills and athleticism, and I've just really been enjoying that, and I think it's so fun and definitely worth the money. But I'll link the program down below, and I hope this review was helpful for you if you are thinking about buying this program. Go ahead and subscribe if you aren't already, because I will be doing a full review at the end of the 12 weeks. But thank you so much for watching. I'm so appreciative, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!